Tales from Buddhist Sutras. Atthakatha Chullanaratkassapa Jataka concerning poison, abyss, mire, and serpents. The Buddha, when he was residing at Jetavana Mahavihara, His Majesty welcomed the comfort of the young woman. So he preached this sermon. There is the beginning word, nate katani binani, as follows. It is said that the daughter of a Savatthi family was about 15 to 16 years old and a beautiful woman. But no one asked for her. At that time, her mother thought, our daughter is a young woman. But no one asked her. We had to use a woman to seduce one of the Sakya monks. It's like luring fish with bait. To be worn down, and will rely on her to make a living. At that time, a young man from Savatthi was ordained and dedicated his life to religion. From the time he was ordained, he abandoned the precepts, became lazy, and was busy adorning his body. The great Upasaka prepared yaku and rice, kathaniya fokaniya in the house, standing at the door of the house. Contemplating the monks walking along the road, there was a figure whose posture she could woo with the taste of lust. When the procession of the Tripitaka, one who holds a Bidhamma disciplined person, they walked together with many followers. Still haven't seen any pictures. In a group that can hold on, in the group of Dhamma monks, those who speak the Dhamma beautifully are good. In the group of monks who come to eat alms as a habit, a person like a six-pointed spreader is good. Those who went after that group of monks still haven't seen a single picture. When he saw it, a monk put drops on his eyes up to the edge of his eyes. Wearing antaravasaka made from tukulapasa cloth, covered in a smooth, shiny robe, supporting an alms bowl the color of a gemstone blocking the shade that invites joy, organic release, a large, muscular body was walking towards us, thinking that we might be able to woo this monk. So he went to pay his respects and received the alms bowl. He said, "Come, sir, please bring me to the house and let me sit, and raise them with yaku rice, etc." Said the monk, "I finished that, Your Majesty, the Blessed One. From now on Your Majesty should only come here, sir." Since then, the monk had been going to that house regularly. Later we got acquainted with each other. One day the great Upasaka, standing at a distance far enough for her to hear, said that in this house there were sufficient food items. But a son or son-in-law like that there was none that could inspect the house. Hearing her words, she thought, for what purpose was she saying this? It was like my heart had been pierced. She said to the daughter, "You must seduce this monk into your power." Since then she adorned her body beautifully. Seduce her with various feminine moves. That's what it's called, Miss Tuesday. You should not see that you have a fat body. Whether fat or thin, you could call her a girl, because it is thick with sensuality and consists of the 5 qualities of sensual pleasures. But she was still young, still under the influence of lust, thinking that now we cannot continue in Buddhism. She said, "I have to go to the temple. Alms bowls and robes were given. I'll go there. Please send my clothes there." Then he went to the temple and gave alms and robes and said to the preceptor, "I'll feel it again." They took her to the Buddha's office and said, "Your Majesty, this monk will be sick." "My lord," the Buddha asked, "Look, monk, is it true that you will be sick?" When he informed him that it was true, the Lord said, "What is the reason for your distress?" When she informed His Majesty that Miss Tua, "Your Royal Highness," he said, "Look, monks, even in the past this woman had also done harm to the virgins, causing great disrepute to you who live in the forest. She will still be relying on the same woman to suffer." For what reason? The monks gathered together to pray. Therefore, His Majesty brought the past stories to show as follows. In the past, when King Brahmadatta reigned in Varanasi, the Bodhisattva was born into the Brahmin family. He had great wealth in the Kasi region, studied art, and was successful in establishing evidence. At that time, his wife gave birth to a child. Passed away you have thought, as there is death for my beloved wife, death must come to us. What do we want as laypeople? Let's ordain. Let go of all sexual desires. Taking my son into him upon ordained as a hermit, with that son also gives rise to abhinaya meditation. They had taro trees and fruits in the forest as food, living in the forest. At that time, bandits from the Pachantakam family entered the countryside and robbed houses, taking people captive to carry their belongings on a journey to the border. Among the captives there was a beautiful young woman who had the ability to seduce. She thought, "These thieves have taken us away. Probably use it like a slave. We must find a trick to escape." She then said, "Sir, I would like to perform a physical act. Please stop and wait a bit," and tricked the thieves into fleeing. When traveling in the forest, reached the ashram in the morning. When the bodhisattva had his son guard the ashram, then go find the results, so he seduced the boy with sexual pleasure. Break his precepts. He put it under his power and said, "What are you doing in the forest? Come, let's go to the house. Because in that country Kama-kun has pictures, etc., easily found." He accepted the word, "good," and said, "My father went to get some fruit from the forest. We have both found you. Let's go together." She thought that this sword was a young person. "I don't know anything. But his father probably became a monk when he was old. He came and probably beat us. What are you doing here? He could have snatched us away and thrown him away in the forest. When he hasn't arrived yet, we must flee." At that time she said to him, "I will go in advance, you should go later. Then tell him the destination on the way and run away." Since the time she was gone he became sad. Don't do any rituals. Like before, his head covered and slumped inside the library. The great Sada brought the fruits, saw her footprints and thought that these were Matukam's footprints. Our son's morality will surely be destroyed. As he entered the library, put the fruits down. When he asked his son, he said the first stanza, "Your firewood has not been broken. You didn't draw any water. Even the fire you did not set alight. Why are you like a foolish man, lying slumbering?" He had heard his father's words. "Get up and bow down to your father. When you want to study, let me know." To go to the dwelling place of mankind from the forest with respect, he recited 2 mantras. "Father Kassapa, I can't stand being in the forest. I will bid farewell to your father. Living in the forest is difficult. I wish to go to the country. Father who is like Brahma, anyone who leaves this forest and goes to live in any countryside should study the customs. How do rural people behave? Father, please teach me those traditions." The great Sada said, "Good, Father, I will show you the customs of the country." Then he said 2 mantras. If you leave the forest, the rhizomes and the fruits in the forest, satisfied with living in the country, you must be aware of the customs of our country. You must not consume poisonous things. Absolutely avoid the abyss. Don't drown in the mire. In the vicinity of the serpent get ready. Dabat Kumar, not knowing the brief content of his father's words, asked, "I ask, Father, what do you say as poison? A chasm, a mire, a serpent of celibacy? I have asked. Father, please tell me that." On the side of Da, the Bodhisattva prophesied to his son, "Look, Narada, pickled water in the world is called liquor. Liquor makes the heart excited, has a sweet smell, makes one talk a lot, and has a sweet, sharp taste like honey. All noble monks said that liquor, that it is the poison of celibacy. Look, Narada, all the women in the world. He will trample down a careless man. Those women lead the minds of men. Like the wind blows the cotton wool that falls from the tree." Here the graduate said, "It is the abyss of celibacy. Look, Narada, gain, praise, worship, and worship in other families." Here the graduate said, "It is the mire of virginity. Look, Narada, the king is great and reigns over this land. Do not go near the great king. He is such a king of mankind. Narada, do not go near the footsteps of the kings who are free and are their chiefs. The kings, the wise man said, it is the serpent of celibacy. Person who needs food at mealtime, should one approach any house, one should know the 5 virtues that should be avoided in that family. Then he should go about looking for food in that house. A person enters another family for the benefit of others. Or nutrition, you should know about it. Consume in moderation and should not be concerned with the appearance of a woman. You must keep away from cattle pens, liquor stores, rowdy people, meeting places, and treasures. Like a person traveling on a vehicle except for the path that is not smooth. Therefore when his father was teaching, the man regained consciousness and said, Father, I should not go to the land of humans. At that time, the father taught Da the method of cultivating loving kindness. The jhana and abhanya were born within a short period of time. Song Da. The role of father and son has not faded from meditation. Born in the Brahma world, the prophet. When he had delivered this sermon, he held a meeting. More than Miss Kumarika became this Miss Da. Chapter Kumar became a restless monk. As for the word father, it is Rao Tathagata. End of commentary on Chullanaratkassapa Jataka number 4. Thank you to everyone who has listened to the story in this clip. Hopefully it will make everyone enjoy it. Happy from listening to the content in the clip. And hope to listen to Jatakas and stories or other content that I will present to you in the next order. In addition, please help press like, press share, press follow, press the bell to be notified, including going back and watching the clip again. It will be a blessing and an encouragement to the creators to the utmost. May happiness and prosperity be with you all every day, night, and time.